Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video and welcome back to another episode of Spaceplan. Alright, so now we're in the billions in terms of watts. It actually did not take us that long to get here, surprisingly. I don't really know what I want to buy. I can actually afford quite a bit. I can afford all of this. We're just going to keep buying all of these ideas here. Now we're generating 1,000,000 watts per second. So, I mean, that's a change. Although, I think we were generating like 300,000 at the start of this episode. So that's a pretty large increase, but it's not real, explosive or anything. Alright, well, first off, I want to get this up to 13. Just simply because this is at 13. I think, actually, let's take this up to 25. And that's spending quite a bit, but I want to get this up there with the potato wedges. And some shit is going down. Mars is splitting into a bunch of different pieces. Let's see how much I can buy. Okay, up to 17. And this isn't really, like, in relative to the increases we have been seeing in our watt per second rate. Buying these planet mashers and potato tanks isn't really increasing it all that much, but like just having that many like progresses the story. And I believe that was like the case in the original run through, was that if you kept buying enough stuff, it would progress the story regardless of how high the rate of watts generated per second was. So as long as you're buying stuff and you're like you just keep doing that, I think it progresses the story. But I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what the game uses as its basis for when the story should progress or not. I'm just playing. I hardly understand what's going on at all, mainly because I haven't been paying attention all that much. But I mean, I just enjoy playing this, I mean, I enjoy being able to talk about anything I want. When we run out of stuff to do in an episode, which is usually right away. I love the feel of the game. I love the atmosphere. And if that means that I don't pay as much attention to the story, then I'm okay with that. But I apologize to anybody that's like real, into the story and they really want me to pay attention to it. It's hard for me to get invested in the story of games, regardless of how good the story actually is. It's just real hard for me to get invested in it. And I don't really know why. Because I love books, I love reading, I love stories. I prefer fiction over nonfiction any day of the week. But I don't necessarily like stories in games, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I just feel like they don't capture my attention as much. I like stories that are told in movie format, in TV show format, but for whatever reason, when it comes to video games, it's like, I'm just there to play the game, I don't really care that much for the story. So I don't really know what it is, but again, I'm sorry if you guys want me to pay more attention to that. It's hard for me to get real invested in it. And we're going to see if we can get the potato tank number up to 25 as well. Hopefully by the end of the episode. All depends on how fast we're able to generate the wattage and whatnot. It looks like it's going by relatively fast, so we should be okay. Yeah. I guess now that it's a new day and that channel update came out, it went up at 9 o'clock this morning for you guys. I guess now that that's out, we can actually talk, about what's being added to the channel a little bit, the reviews I'm starting to do of albums, songs, movies, TV shows. I'm actually going to be recording my first one, not after this recording here, not after this recording of Spaceplan, but after my recording of Nuclear Throne. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to be recording my first review of, and it's going to be of an album. And if you follow my Twitter, you already know what it's going to be because I've made it relatively evident, I think, with recent tweets. But I'm not going to reveal it here because, I do kind of want to keep it on the down low a little bit. But it's going to be an album review, and I don't really know how I'm going to go about editing it, That's something I haven't really considered because I know that I can't just have a screen with a thumbnail on it and then just talk over that like I would with a normal channel update video. I know that won't work. I know that won't reel people in, and I got to reel people in. But I don't know how much editing I necessarily want to do. And it's not that I'm too lazy to do it. I'll do as much editing as I would need to. It's just I don't like the idea of doing that much editing because I feel like that compromises the integrity of the video. But that's, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to make it work. I don't think I'm going to have as many jump cuts, but I think I may have stuff going on screen. I'll show clips of music videos and, maybe clips of interviews I've seen or something along those lines. I don't really know yet, but we'll see. I was thinking that I'd be able to get it up today for you guys, I mean, at 9 o'clock, but I looking at how things are shaping up now, in terms of how my time and my schedule is spaced out, I don't think that's going to happen. I do think I'll be able to get it ready for tomorrow, though, for Saturday. I think I'll be able to have it done by then, and ready to go. And I'm really looking forward to producing it because ever since I finally decided to just say fuck it and go through with the whole review thing, I've been real excited to do it. So, hopefully that translates into the video and possibly the editing. And I'm going to try and keep the reviews on the shorter side because this particular album, I have quite a lot to say about. So that it could easily turn into a 30-minute long video, and I don't want it to because that's too long. It's too long for a review, That's just way too long for a review of an album. I want to keep it, 10 to 15 minutes long, just simply because that will retain the attention of the viewer, for one. And two, if I just keep going on and on and on, eventually I end up repeating myself and I don't even realize that I'm repeating my own points that I've made, And I'm talking about stuff that may not even be relevant to the album itself, and I want to keep it relevant to the album itself rather than to a more general topic. And I know that if I give myself enough time and I give myself enough leeway, I'm going to end up doing that. So I got to keep myself contained and keep it on point. And I guess I didn't really explain this in the channel update video, but I am going to be grading the stuff I review on a scale of 1 to 10. And in each video, I'll explain how my grading scale works for that given thing. For an album, for example, let's say there are 12 songs on the album, and I'm going to explain this in the review video too. Let's say there are 12 songs on the album. If I liked 10 out of 12 of those songs, I would divide 12 by 10. No. I would divide 10 by 12, get the percentage, and that would translate to, maybe like 8.88 out of 10. I don't know. I can't do the math in my head. But, that's how my grading scale is going to work. And it's sort of going to be the same thing for movies and TV shows, I don't really know how I'm going to apply it. Maybe for a movie, how much of the movie did I enjoy? If it's an hour and a half long movie and I enjoyed an hour of it, is that how I'm going to grade it? I don't know. I don't think that really works because movies are different than albums, obviously, The album, the way I have it, the way I want to do it works because an album is not necessarily a cohesive thing, even though an album may tell a story when it's put all together and it may flow. It's not a cohesive thing like a movie is, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm able to grade it differently and use a different scale and a different method for grading than I would a movie, or even, actually, and it would actually, the grading scale for an album could potentially work for a TV show as well. Because if I'm grading a season of a TV show, then I can do the same thing. I can perform the math. Oh, I liked 10 out of 20 episodes in the TV season. That's 50%. That translates to 5 out of 10, on the grading scale. So I'm still figuring this all out in my head. And it's gonna be a bit, I think, before I put out a movie review. I think it's definitely gonna be like the second thing that I do. Because I do have a movie in mind that I want to review. I actually have a lot of movies in mind that I want to review, but there's one in particular that I want to do right away, and I think it might be like the second review video I do. So I have time to figure it out. I gotta figure it out. I gotta think, okay, how am I going to, determine the grading scale for a movie? Because it's different than, an album or a TV season, And it's the same for like an individual song, How am I going to grade an individual song? Am I just going to say whether or not I liked it or I didn't like it? You can't, there aren't a whole lot of aspects you can explore in a song without getting too technical, I could go, oh, I didn't like the bridge in this song, but I liked the chorus, that I feel like that's getting a little too technical with it, because people generally do know what bridges are in songs, but I don't want to risk talking about a bridge in a song when there is a decent chance that my audience may not know what it is. And I could always explain what it is, but that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to review a song, not explain what a bridge in a song is. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like I'm not really making a whole lot of sense, and I'm going to make even less sense now. Fun. So, for whatever reason, the Spaceplan video stopped recording right at this point. So, I'm recording this just to tell you guys that I didn't really say anything all that important after that point. I covered basically what I really wanted to talk about in the episode. And actually, I spent those last few minutes making a real stupid joke about astronomy, and how we may not know it, but the moon could definitely be transparent. The earth could definitely be transparent. The stuff we build and ourselves are just not big enough and, big enough to fall through, that kind of thing. I was talking about that. I was making very stupid remarks all around, just being myself, I guess. So you guys didn't really miss out on anything, but regardless, I apologize for that happening. It said it was recording the entire time too. I was looking up in the top left-hand corner because you guys can't see it when I'm recording a game, but typically there will be an FPS counter up in the top left that will be red when it's recording, and it was red the entire time, and it turned green when I stopped. So I was under the impression that it had recorded the entire time, but I guess it didn't. So my apologies for that. You guys didn't really miss out on anything, though, so don't be too concerned about it. And if you guys are enjoying the series, let me know down in the comments section below. Like the video, share with your friends. Let me know you want to see more of any game series I do here on the channel. The link down to the game is in the description box down below if you want to pick it up for yourself. And if you guys enjoyed this video in particular, again, likes and comments are greatly appreciated. Subscribe to my channel for more gaming content. I play all sorts of games on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you very much. And I'll talk to you later. Peace. Maybe I should just start doing that at the end of my videos. Just saying peace. Like I'm a real cool guy, I say peace at the end of my videos.